For the last several days, there has been a cloud of confusion over the source of the cyclosporiasis outbreak that is surging all across the country. Initially, the CDC said the parasitic infection had been traced to Taylor Farms iceberg lettuce grown in Mexico. But shortly afterward, word spread that it was a false positive, and cases just keep growing. Michigan now has more than 6,000 cases, and Lucas County just surpassed 1,000. And as the reports keep coming in, people are desperate for clear answers. Tonight, our Alexandria Manthe checks in with leaders at the Toledo-Lucas County Health Department to find out how they're accommodating that need.
Cyclospora hotline, Toledo-Lucas County Health Department.
Fielding calls and answering questions. These volunteers are monitoring the new cyclosporiasis hotline in Lucas County.
We enlisted our Medical Reserve Corps volunteers and opened up this informational hotline for individuals to utilize Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
The hotline number is 419-213-2884. If a volunteer isn't free, you can leave a voicemail for someone to call you back. Deputy Health Commissioner Shannon Jones tells me the hotline became a way to efficiently funnel an enormous number of calls and questions.
We have 130 employees here at the health department, and all of the departments were receiving phone calls. I mean, people that were down in the clinics or our vital statistics, or if people were coming in and just asking questions. So we really needed to take the burden off of our staff.
There are 8 volunteers who've signed up with the department's Medical Reserve Corps, which steps in to help during a declared disaster.
We have a handful of individuals, public health professionals, epidemiologists, just people who are interested and that have a medical background per se, that are volunteering to help out and do just that, to give back to the community and provide information.
Jones says early on in the outbreak, questions were mostly about symptoms and how cyclosporiasis is spread. Now, she says the vast majority of questions are about test results and how to report them.
They can call us if they receive the link to the ODH survey, asking about your food history or symptoms, that it is filled out and completed in its entirety.
Alexandria Manthe, 13 Action News.
Doctors in Michigan are working to provide clarity after the Food and Drug Administration says tests on Taylor Farms lettuce came back as a false positive for the parasite. Well, the state's chief medical executive says the data is pointing in one direction.
We've interviewed about 2,300 of those individuals, and this involves really detailed food histories about what they'd eaten in the 2 weeks prior to developing symptoms. And I can tell you that across the board, the biggest signal that emerges is lettuce.
Doctors say they are not ruling out any potential source, but strongly advise people to avoid pre-bagged salad mixes and kits. The FDA is still investigating the origin for the parasite. You can stay informed as more information comes to light by downloading the 13 Action News app. You can find it for free in your phone's app.